How's it going?
Good. I'm a little nervous. I have no reason to be, but I am.
Two years ago, the story of my life took a very dramatic turn with one phone call. Chris Bone from Dallas, Texas, gave my mom a call and said, "I think that your dead husband is my father."
Camera action together. Okay, let's have a nice, good pose. Smile.
I grew up my entire life thinking I was the oldest of two children. It turns out that's not true. I'm the second to the youngest of 9 siblings, 9 that we know of. We're still counting.
Dad was the love of my mother's life, you know? And the relationship did destroy her emotionally.
Do you think she recovered from that?
No. Absolutely not.
I never met our dad.
Yeah.
My mom told me that I was Greek and that my biological mom already had kids and just couldn't afford to keep me. My father sold encyclopedias and did some other various shady things.
I had no idea who my father was, who my biological father was.
Did he have dimples? Did he have brown eyes? Did he have olive skin like me? Did I have his feet? I mean, I just wanted to know, you know, what were his characteristics? What did I get from him?
Yeah, he could definitely charm the pants off of just about anybody.
You would think that getting to know people would take some time, but with all of my new brothers and sisters, it was immediate, with all the baggage, in a split second. It's crazy. Both of my parents were born in Greece, and they moved to America. Chris was always looking for his father and his roots. All he knew was that the man's name was George and that he was Greek. But it was only when he put his DNA up on 23andMe that he was able to find his half-brother Mike in New Jersey. Once they found each other, they put together pieces of the puzzle and then found the rest of us. My father was a true romantic. Despite whatever flaws he had, he was the most charming person that you would meet. 5 foot nothing, and George would walk in a room and everyone would be his friend. And the results are kids all over America. My aunt said to me, "Demetre, it's not like your father killed anybody. He just had sex with a lot of women." And so here we all are. Mike invites us to Mount Olive, New Jersey for a reunion. I meet my sisters Angela and Shelly and Darlene for the first time.
Just gives me goosebumps, just stunned. Like, my mom passed away, the anchor was gone, and I was going through some dark times, and this means everything to have all the support.
Yeah.
And to find it at this stage of life, you know, it's remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people buy sports cars in their midlife crisis. Other people just collect family members in midlife. So it's normal. I don't know who we'll find next, because every time somebody puts out their DNA, we find somebody new. We are now catching up for lost time, doing as many things together as we can. It's like everyone is just running towards it. It's overwhelming. Happy birthday to you. All right. It's not easy for me to have all these brothers and sisters always asking me all these questions about our father, George, because they want to know things, they want to be close to him, and in many ways, I never was. I resented and was always angry at him for the way he would just sleep around on my mother. But he was always there, in and out. But for my other brothers and sisters, he never existed, or he was in their lives for the briefest of moments. So it's difficult for me to give them what they need sometimes. they all want to see where they're from and where our father's from. And they want to experience being Greek in Greece. And the next thing I know, we're planning a trip to Greece. It's really intense for my mom to be here in Greece, confronting not only my father's past before her, but also all these children. Through it, she has built new relationships with these children and grown, and I'd like to think that she's better for it. We're all walking up to the market, to the Laiki, to find my Theo Yanni, who's selling all his lemons and oranges here today. He's Yanni Papageorgiou, so he's the same as all of us Papageorgious.
Γιώργο, παπάς. Yes. Παπά, εγώ από αυτό Γιώργο. Cousin.
Are you okay?
The roots, the family roots,
Yes.
and this is from the ground that my dad walked on. Yeah.
That you got the Greek blood in you and that you want to be a full Greek.
24 χρόνια ψάχνει να τους
Θα δούμε τι θα κάνουν τα παιδιά. Θα γυρίσουμε κάτω την μία, μην βρεις δεν έχω γεύση. Θα πέσω εδώ.
Αυτό.
Εντάξει.
Okay.
This is the Cafe Neo right here. It's the only cafe in town. My grandfather and my father, especially my grandfather who grew up here, spent a lot of time here. There's a bit of a stigma to it too. Good man, a good father, wouldn't spend all his time here because that would be time away from working and time away from his kids. But the story of my grandfather is that story. My grandfather, who is my namesake, Demetre Papageorgiou, he was a teacher. Yaya the Nai, who is my grandmother, I believe she was 12, and she was one of his students, and my grandfather was in his 30s. My grandmother, the Nai, was his favorite student, and she was a pretty girl. She was pregnant with my father when she was about 12 years old, and she didn't know what was happening. She probably didn't even know what sex was. Then my grandfather took my father, George, away from his mother and raised him by himself in the village of Polica.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you want to ask him anything about Papa or Papu? Tell us something good about our father.
Η ιστορία του πατέρα σου δεν είναι τόσο ευχάριστη.
He hadn't anybody to help him, to love him. Yes, it's difficult for a boy.
It was a disgraceful situation. Yeah.
Theo doesn't even know if Baba even knew how to love.
He didn't.
Because, or what that was, or what that looked like.
He didn't.
Because he didn't have the love of his mother.
Classic abandonment syndrome. From the day he was born, he was not wanted, and he seeked out approval from women, just over and over, and not even consciously.
We go to the cemetery, our family cemetery in our village of Pulica, and everybody else in the family, except for my grandfather, has a finished tombstone, final resting place, except for my grandfather. Not only did he lose all his money, but he lost the respect of all of them by the way he lived his life, and no one ever bothered to correct that. Pretty much an unmarked grave.
Very, very fitting for the Papageorgiou.
Very fitting. Very fitting for our family that it be unmarked. We go to Pulica, which is the farm village that my father's family is from near Corinth. And my brothers and sisters get to connect with my Theo Yanni and my Thea. We get to eat everything that came from the farm itself. This is beyond local stuff. It's all right there from around the house. The Greeks fought the Turks. They would drink and toast like this to Yamas, because that means we're brothers forever and we'll fight to the death. We're all works in progress, but we're all complete in a way that we never were before, because we know that there are 8 others that at the drop of a hat will do anything for us. If my father was alive today and he saw all these brothers and sisters together, I think he'd be extremely proud. For us, it's been a hard emotional journey, but it's given us something incredibly beautiful.